Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? Happy Friday, everybody, and what a happy Friday it is in crypto. I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4-hour, we are fully above this resistance area. Obviously, currently flirting with this next horizontal level. It is kind of an area. We could have the top part of the area there where as you can see, but yeah, currently up there, getting towards what would be our, well, pretty much 45,000. Getting above there would be extremely bullish. Then obviously this whole lows area, the price action, these whole low wicks kind of down here, above basically 47,000 would probably confirm as absolutely fully set for a move into the 50,000s, whether it's the shallow 50,000s, the deep 50,000s, then potentially play some consolidation or downwards, and then we decide either upwards to all new all-time highs or downwards to basically new lows, with this being a lower high relative to this high. We shall have to see, but this is looking particularly good. I mean, just the eye test, it kind of looks bullish, doesn't it? It kind of looks like we're doing our best to revert this downward trend. Yeah, and then once the trend gets moving, the trend is your friend. And that will obviously be your friend until the end. The trend is your friend until the end, and then yeah, we'll see how high we get up to. But yeah, things are looking good here. If we want to look at some other things that are looking good, stock market is the S&P above this 4,500 level. I mean, back up to this area, which is great. If we get back above 46, so then get back above 46. I mean, without wanting to get too bullish here, we could then easily see new all-time highs from that point. But yeah, we shall have to see. There are lots of warning signs and red flags in the economy going forwards. Potential slowing growth into the end of Q2, but between now and the end of Q2, we have got a few months of potentially very nice price action. So that's what we're hoping for. That is what we are gunning for. That is kind of what we've been looking at all the way from before this year started. That probably Q2 would be where we'd start to see some difficult times. And yeah, hopefully if that's the end of Q2, it gives us a nice rally in the meantime. 10-year just hovering up there, looking pretty disgusting for people that are in debt. Namely corporations and governments. But yeah, not looking good, looking like another potential bull flag to play out the full target of the previous bull flag, but we shall have to see. It is certainly putting the squeeze on. Obviously a lot of this is the rates, the rate hikes getting priced in. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens with that. Dollar index looking like it's potentially trying to put a top in here, but it could potentially just be reaccumulating. Lots of potential is there, but I suspect that we are going to have sort of either yield curve control or stimulus checks for food and energy and all sorts of other things that are potentially going to whack this and then actually support risk assets going forwards when they potentially could be in quite a bit of trouble. Oil just within our rough triangle, that purely speculative triangle we drew in. We'll see how that plays out. Maybe it could have been more down there. Well, actually try to move the angle, not the whole line, but yeah, but we'll leave it where it is because we could very easily continue upwards. But yeah, obviously we know oil is structurally bullish, but if we are going to move into a slow growth or a recession, that is not bullish basically for oil. The ruble looking a bit better here as well, looking to try and get above the 50% retracement of this move down, which would then usually indicate a move all the way back up. Obviously lots of interesting things going on. I mean, it goes without saying it was a pretty obvious move for Putin to say, yeah, if you want to buy our shiz, you got to buy it in rubles, and then obviously that means you have to sell your currency and buy rubles. Supports the ruble, and then supports his economy. So yeah, a pretty obvious move there. So What else? Also, obviously, there is I know, like the woke people, the keyboard warriors, the general clowns, I like to call them, the clowns of the world, are obviously massively anti-Russia. But if you collapse their currency and then Russia defaults on its obligations, and its corporates default on their obligations, then that's just going to basically smash European and American banks that are exposed to that. Russia has been trying to de-dollarize, so obviously this debt they have in dollars, if they ain't can't afford it because their ruble is smashed and they just default on that debt, who do you think suffers more? And one thing we've learned from defaults is that the markets are quick to what's the word? Quick to, like, basically start relending, quick to forgive, that's it. Credit markets are quick to forgive once a country defaults. I mean, all the South American countries, the ones that tried to pay their debts have basically struggled. The ones that just defaulted have done better. So if Russia basically just defaults on its debts, it will absolutely screw the Western financial system. Russia will be fine, and trust me, on the basis that Russia will then be fine, relieved of the burden of all that debt, and in a strong position, commodities and gold-wise and everything. Trust me, the credit markets will be happy to lend Russian companies and probably the Russian government money again. That is the world we live in. That is the world that you can't fight. That's what happens when you actually have a country that produces stuff. I mean, obviously China produces stuff that the world uses. Russia produces commodities and food that the world uses. America basically produces sweet FA. It produces nothing. It produces social media companies and complete BS. It is an absolute joke of a clown country, literally just surviving off the back of the fact the dollar is the world reserve currency, and they are literally a bunch of clowns. Obviously not individual Americans, but just the system as a whole, the corrupt government, the absolute corrupt to the core government, bombing every country around the whole world, and then the hypocrisy. I mean, people are fully waking up to it, fully waking up to the actual BS clown country that is the US. But yeah, you produce nothing. You're literally a basket case. And I'm not that I'm a proponent of China or the CCP, and not even necessarily Russia or Putin, but I mean, I do think he's doing a better job running his country than certainly the CCP is, and certainly America is doing. But obviously there are issues there. Not that I'm a proponent of him, but yeah, basically they're all doing a better job than America. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, wow, what a rant. So let's have a look at something else to change the subject. Let's look at gold. How's Peter Schiff doing over there? Come on, let's get off the ruble. It doesn't want us to move. It doesn't want us to change. Is my internet fine? Yeah, my internet's fine. It's just TradingView. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so gold getting a little bit of actually a little bit of a bounce here. Not looking too bad. If we do get above this level, then yeah, we could see more upside. It was looking pretty bearish once we were down here, but we didn't obviously get a bearish confirmation and move down below this price area. So yeah, can continue onwards and upwards now. My base case here is this would be the new low area. Maybe it just got front ran. Maybe this was it just getting front ran. I mean, don't forget there's a whole weaponization of the dollar, cancelling Russia's bank reserves, so obviously everyone around the world is going to be looking to basically look into other assets that they can buy, other central banks that is, and obviously gold is the first one on their list. So yeah, maybe this could get front ran a bit. So yeah, gold actually looking better, literally looking better here. So yeah, we'll give Peter Schiff his credit where credit is due. Ethereum Satoshi pairing, this is looking good as well. This is looking like a potential bull flag. We could do a projection, but it's literally just going to take us into this resistance area, so we pretty much know where it's going to go. If we do it here, yeah, that'll do. Basically, it's going to take us deep, like smack bang into this resistance area, and then obviously we'll have to decide what happens there. But that would be an extremely nice move here for Ethereum. This is against BTC, obviously with BTC potentially bullish as well. Ethereum moving up to here, well, we're going to basically be pretty much Ethereum at all-time highs again if that happens. If BTC breaks through that $47,000 level into the 50,000s and Ethereum breaks up to this 0.07767 area, I think that does equate to beat Ethereum at new all-time highs. The USD pairing as well, just continuing onwards and upwards. Got a few areas to negotiate, but obviously it's done the harder part of its negotiating areas above 3,400, 3,400. Then yeah, it will quite likely be an acceleration to the upside to new all-time highs. So fingers crossed. Like I said, we've got a potential pocket. Even the bears in this in the overall market for stock markets and everything, the global macro environment, not just crypto bears, but even the bears are conceding the fact that growth is potentially going to slow and markets going to struggle towards the end of Q2. So we have got a pocket of time here to basically make hay whilst the sun shines. Basically, that's what we've got going on at the moment. Let's have a quick look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance dropped out of its channel. It has to obviously negotiate this support area. If it gets through here, then that will be it. We'll probably have a pretty aggressive move down to here. Probably get an insane move in some altcoins, a decent move up in Bitcoin, and then potentially we hit that end of Q2 pullback. Maybe it's a pullback, maybe it's a crash, who knows, we shall see. We'll observe it in real time. Let's have a look at Stochastics then for our pointing up, still pointing up, pretty high up there, but pointing up. 10 hour, obviously these are pretty much all going to be pointing up. Let's have a look when it decides to load. Yeah, 10 hour pointing up and looking good. 12 hour looking to turn down here. Daily looking to turn down actually as well. Buy daily looking absolutely fantastic. Plenty more juice in this tank. This, in my opinion, and these next stochastics are going to get us up towards that $45,000, $46,000, $47,000 level, and then we'll see what happens. 3-day looking brilliant. 5-day looking really good, and weekly just needs to get back up to here, but obviously looking good at the moment. And bi-weekly, I suspect if we stay anywhere in and around this area with price action, that this will turn back up. Yeah, we'll be looking good stochastic wise. Nothing particularly goes up in a straight line, although sometimes things do. But you can kind of see that we've got a few more areas to negotiate, a few more pullbacks, a few more consolidations potentially. But once we start to get above 47,000, we could see some pretty nice bullish action. Or to play for. Obviously the downsides are clearly identified. I mean, we've got this lower here, 48,500. This area around here, 38,000. The same levels we've realistically had to the downside. Even if we hit up towards 45, 46, then we pull back down towards 42. Still wouldn't look too bad. Wouldn't look bad at all for then a one last pull up. But in my experience of Bitcoin particularly, when you are in a bullish formation, ascending triangle like this, you don't usually get this last pullback to then buy, the perfect buy on the last pullback at the very end of the triangle. Usually you just blast on through at about usually it's between like 2/3 and 75% of the way, which practically we're at. So that's just what usually happens. Not to say that is what's going to happen, not to say we don't fill out the last pullback, not even to say that we don't just drop straight down and actually not even go bullish full stop. Do you understand what I mean? We could not even go we could not even break to the upside. We could break to the downside. We can potentially draw a line roughly around here. If we lose that, then yeah, things may look to accelerate to the downside. And then if that occurrence, not even a real sentence, is it? Then yeah, realistically, we either target basically the bottom of the sideways channel again, and if we break that, then clearly lower prices. But if we do hold there, then just potentially more accumulation at these lower prices before hopefully onwards and upwards. But yeah, there we go, guys. Happy Friday, everybody. Remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.